Just last night, I was talking about how today could be the start of a major pullback, anywhere from 20% to 40% pullback, right? So is this the start of it? Well, let me show you a few things. First of all, yes, it does seem kind of bad that we have fallen 4,000 points within a single day, and we did pull back overall, right, from our top of $73,000. But, you know, when in doubt, zoom out. I've always said that, okay? So I'm going to zoom out a little bit here. And then I'm looking back at the last time Bitcoin was at this level. What was the first time we breached 63,500? Well, that was around here. That was right around here. That's when we broke up to about 69,000 and fell down. But I would say that it's right there. And what day is that? Well, that was March 4th. So that was approximately 15 days ago. So let's just round it up to 2 weeks. Okay, so on the grand scheme of things, how far did we pull back? About 2 weeks ago. Okay, that's it. We didn't pull back 2 months ago. We didn't pull back 10 months ago. You know, 2 months ago, we were still back in the 40s. Okay, that's how fast things have moved. So, is a pullback like this healthy? Yes, it definitely is healthy. Okay, we have seen many pullbacks that are much greater than this one that we're seeing right now. Okay, but you know, here's the good news. If you look at top to bottom, let's just look at the percentage. If you look at top to bottom here, yeah, that's about 15%. That's not too bad. When it comes to pullbacks, 50%. It's a decent pullback, but still very tame compared to some of the ones that we have seen before. And I'll show you that in a little bit. But what caused this sell-off, right? Besides this phenomenon that seems to happen before every single halving event, right? But you know what? I'm still not convinced about that. I'm still not convinced, and here's why. Grayscale. There's something fishy going on with Grayscale, and I've been saying this for a while. Grayscale knew that this was going to happen. They intentionally set their fees really high, 5 times higher, no, 6 times higher than anyone else, because they knew this was going to happen. And now, you know, Michael, how do you say it, Sonnison? I mean, he was interviewed and he's like, well, we will drop our fees after we hit 12 billion in outflow. 12 billion in outflow? Where did he get that number from? Right? Like, why 12 billion? See, there's something very suspicious with this. People need to ask the question like, what did they know? Right? I mean, that's the reason why Grayscale has been selling off so much, because this seemed like it was already planned. Like they knew this was going to happen. Now, yesterday was the first day, I think, since the very first day of ETFs, where the inflows could not match the outflows. Okay? BlackRock tried. BlackRock tried really hard. Itself took in about 6,700 Bitcoins, which is a lot. Okay? That's a lot. But Grayscale yesterday had one of the most massive outflows, 9,600 Bitcoin, almost 10,000 Bitcoin sold off. So it couldn't match it. It couldn't match it, basically. Right? So there's something really suspicious about Grayscale and the way it's selling right now. Again, the fees. Everyone else, BlackRock, Fidelity, ARK, you know, their fees are 0.25%, 0.21%, Bitwise 0.2%, Grayscale at 1.5%. So they're trying to collect as much fees as possible because they know the selling's going to be done. You know, why not just raise the fees to like 50% then? Right? That'll prevent people from selling off Grayscale. You know, it's like, if they know this is going to happen, hey, set the fees outrageously high. Maybe that'll stop it. But anyways, that's what happened. That's kind of what prompted yesterday's sell-off leading to today's, right? And then you add everything together, that's kind of like where we are. But, I've been saying this for a while. BlackRock is going to flip Grayscale soon. I say within the next 2 weeks, it's going to happen. BlackRock is buying as much as they can every single day. They have more Bitcoin than MicroStrategy, and soon they will have more Bitcoin than Grayscale and become the largest publicly traded entity out there on the planet holding the most Bitcoin. And that's not a good thing. I'm not saying that it's a good thing, right? But right now, the only thing that's countering Grayscale selling is BlackRock. I mean, that's really it, BlackRock and Fidelity. They're the ones that's soaking it up. Otherwise, we would have some deep trouble. If we didn't have hundreds of millions of buying going on through the ETFs and we have Grayscale selling hundreds of millions per day, we would be in much bigger trouble. But so we have that. But long term, this sucks. You don't want the big boys, the big institutions and big financial companies and banks to be eating up all the Bitcoin, right? So don't let that happen. Don't let the FUD get to you. And you know what happened yesterday? Besides just Grayscale selling, there was one whale that really wanted to manipulate the market. On BitMEX last night, there was a unknown entity, a whale, that sold off 400 Bitcoin on purpose and dropped the price of Bitcoin down to $9,000 on BitMEX. So if you were using BitMEX, you could have bought Bitcoin at $9,000 because they didn't have enough liquidity to offset the 400 Bitcoin. So they said they're investigating, right? They said this didn't lead to liquidations over their futures, although I think this had a lot to do with a lot of the sell-off that we had yesterday. But they're investigating. But like whale games like this happen all the time, but I don't see the logic of this because whoever sold 400 Bitcoin, I mean, that's a lot of money, first of all. There's no way that they bought back at a cheaper price. So they would have bought back at a higher price, and then they just lost tens of millions of dollars. I don't even get how that works. Or maybe they were trying to crash. They were trying to profit on the future side, and BitMEX prevented it from happening. I don't know. There was some purpose, but whoever this is lost a ton of money. I'll tell you that. They lost a ton of money by trying to pull this. But hey, I've always said there are a lot of whales. There's market makers. There's market manipulators. Yes, there are a lot of them. Happens all the time. All the time.